New day, new update. A lot of super good things just got changed to the game today, as well as our second eval cup of the season has just concluded. Real quick before this video starts though, please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try our best to upload daily competitive content for you guys. If you guys want to support me even more, far and away the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. We're continuing to shout out 2 people every single video who DM me proof of them using my code. Shout out to these 2 people on the screen right here. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Without further ado though, let's start off with everything new in today's update, and I want to start this off with something that I feel like was one of the biggest problems on PC, and that was trying to see in the storm. And today Fortnite released an update where these zones look completely different. I'll put a picture up on the screen right here, or if you guys have just played the game at all, you can see the difference. It is literally a million times better. I felt like I was getting flashbanged every single time before when I was running into the zone, or even just watching somebody that was in zone. It was impossible to hit anybody. Another just quality of life update thing that they brought out today was now builds instantly break. I don't know if it's the same on console or not, but on PC you'll probably see it in some of the background gameplay here. But now whenever you break a build, it doesn't go through that like gross break animation with like the wood falling down and everything. It literally just instantly disappears. I thought those were 2 just amazing changes that they added to the game. We don't have any confirmation if it's going to stay like this for chapter 7 or not. A lot of people are just assuming since the Simpson season, these were 2 really big issues, they're just going to hot fix them for this season, and then things will go back to the old ways in chapter 7. I have to admit though, I really wouldn't be that opposed at all if these changes stuck for the future. Let me know what you guys think about them in the comments below. There was some things that people weren't too happy about though, like the tournament loot pool update and the super squishy just got removed from competitive completely. Yeah, I already see people in the comments of this complaining that solos is just going to be even worse now, since literally the only rotates you have is the blinky fish. Can't say I necessarily love this change. We also have some new guns in the loot pool now as well. The 5 gun, the cobalt slingshot, and the deodorant applicator are all available in competitive. And then we also got to see the cartoon chainsaw got added, and then the bush got removed. I won't lie, the only thing I really got to see used a lot today was the chainsaw. Other than that, a lot of people are pretty much using just the same items that we have had throughout this whole season. Let's actually move on to the eval cup now, because a lot of big names failed to qualify, but it was a super fun tournament to watch. The duo that finished in first place on NA was none other than Epicwell and Pump. The NA West duo finished with 395 points, won half of their matches, and got 60 total elims as well. This duo literally had an average placement of 2.67 in the opens. Super consistent tournament out of them. Second place was Josh and Iamzo on 382. These guys also continue to just look super good ever since they formed, qualifying to every single finals that they played together. Third place is Scare and Causer. Fourth place is Cringe and Velo. Fifth place is Rapid and Threat. Sixth place is Ritual and Poyo on 318. Peterbot did end up trying to get on for the tournament, I think, but he didn't have any teammates since Poyo is just going to be playing a lot of the tournaments this season with Ritual. So Peter did not end up playing today at all. And no, I have to preface this every single time we talk about it. Peter and Poyo have not split up. Ritual and Cold have not split up either. Cold, I don't think, has literally queued for a single thing this season. I wouldn't be surprised if Cold was actually the player that just didn't end up even updating his game yet. 7th place was Yuz and Sharkman. 8th place was Acorn and Bolt. Super happy to see these guys back together now in grinding. 9th place was Zyro, and then rounding out the top 10 was Daxathon. For some of the other big names that made finals, we have like 14th place of Arc and Kanata, Shadow and Virgo in 27th, and then that is really about it for all of the big names that were able to make it to the finals. So we did have a lot of duos, and some really surprising duos failed to qual, like 114th place of Victor V and Queasy. This is a super random but pretty fun duo that ended up forming together. Unfortunately, they were not able to make the finals. The main big one is 168th place of Clix and Higgs. They finished with 207 points, won 1 out of their 7 matches, only got 30 total elims. It was just a super terrible start for them. I think they literally did basically die off spawn their first 3 games of the tournament, and in an eval cup that is especially only a top 40 qual format, it is going to be nearly impossible to qualify if you have that sort of start. They tried their best to save their tournament, getting an 11 elim win, 5 elim second, 5 elim fourth, but then in their very final game of the day, they needed like a 15 plus elimination win, and they were only able to get a 5 elim 22nd. Still though, this is literally like the first tournament that Clix and Higgs have ever failed to qualify for as a duo. So am I worried about them going into the future? No, I am am not. I think they'll be just fine, and they're still going to be competing at the highest level next chapter. But it definitely did suck to not see Clix in the finals. And then the other big name duo that I also didn't really expect to be this low was 277th place of Muzz and Ree. I know that Ree has been going through some personal things recently, so not really gonna hold it against them for not qualifying for the finals. Let's actually move on though to how the finals went now. Now in the finals, I will not lie to you guys, there was one duo that was far and away better than any other team in this lobby. From elim wise, from consistency wise, Josh and Iamzo were on a completely different level. This duo won 2 out of the 4 games today, so they won half of the games, and in the only 2 games that they didn't win, they placed 2nd place. Their match history was a 9 elim win, a 5 elim second, a 13 elim second, and an 11 elim win. In one of their second places, Josh was literally solo clutching from like 35 players alive. They were both just playing absolutely out of their minds in this finals. I am a person that has had a lot of question marks about Josh and Iamzo, and can they work? And not just that, but do they have the potential to somehow be better than what Iamzo and Agers were? And so far, there seems to be a complete vibe reset between both of them. I haven't seen Iamzo that happy to win an Eval Cup game in a very long time, and you can see how much it means to Josh too. And Iamzo really is full trying to be able to get Josh those wins.
No, bro! I had sickness.
Nice!
Yes!
Oh
Let's
my
go,
god! I
Iamzo.
just full movement.
You're crazy. You're so good, bro. You're so good.
Absolutely insane performance out of these guys. A 1.5 average placement is literally insane. Second place was Ozone and Veer. They won the second game of the day with a 7 elim win. And then the only other duo that was able to get a win was third place of Visuals and Braids. They won the third game of the day with a 5 elim win. Moving on with the rest of the leaderboard, the duos that finished with the highest elims was Ark and Kanata in 4th. These guys were contested off spawn every single game by Virgo's team. I think they ended up going like 3-1 off spawn versus them. And in those games that they made it off spawn, they got an 8 elim 6th, 3 elim 13th, and an 8 elim 6th. Still think this is a super good duo, and they show it tournament after tournament. 5th place, the duo that was the best team last season of Rapid and Threats. Only had 1 game inside of the top 10 with a 5 elim 4th. Still though, not necessarily like that bad of a tournament out of them. 6th place was Acorn and Bolts. This duo was also super consistent today, not on the level of Josh and Iamzo, but they still had 3 games in the top 10 with a 2 elim 4th, 5 elim 9th, and a 4 elim 3rd. Pretty much every single one of our big name teams on NA that we expected to do good ended up doing good. 7th place was Scare and Causers, 8th place was Curve and Void, 9th place was Taki and Vert, and then rounding out the top 10 was Craig. Our only big names that placed outside of that top 10 really was like 30th place of Ritual and Poyo. They unfortunately didn't have a single game even inside of the top 20. They got a 0 elim 39th, 1 elim 36th, 0 elim 35th, and a 3 elim 21st. I'm not gonna sit up here and be like super critical about this duo right here. We know they're literally not an official team. Obviously the caliber of player alone is better than their placement showed right here. I've seen some theories of people throwing it around that like, oh, Poyo and Ritual are preparing for when Peter ends up dropping him for cold. It's an interesting theory, I'll say that, but as of now, I don't think any of us really expect Ritual and Poyo to be playing with each other in chapter 7. And then, oh yeah, Epical and Pump also finished in 21st. They didn't have any matches inside of the top 10. They literally placed 12th place 3 separate times. Now the Assyrian stats are like full bugged right now as they normally are, but all I know is that Josh finished with around 27 elims and Iamzo got around 10 to 11. 27 elims as a solo for Josh though is more than any other duo got combined. Josh was literally putting up Peterbot numbers today. He is looking absolutely primed up right now. Let's actually move on to how EU went now. Now in EU, we also saw a lot of big names fail to qualify for the finals. The names that made it to the finals though was first place of Perdage and Faded on 369, second place of Fastroki and Zhu, third place of Darman Demas, fourth place of Lixium, fifth place of Dinas and Fyron, 6th place finally playing in what feels like their first tournament that they played together this season. win of Shark and Teeny on 328. They did not miss a beat at all, and we'll talk about it more when we go over the finals. 7th place was Huddy and Fishy. 8th place is a duo that I feel like has qualified to every single final since they started playing together, of Vico and Malibuca on 324. 9th place is Moneymaker and Fanayan, and then rounding out the top 10 was CZB and Eclipse. Some of the other big names that made the finals was like 16th place of Hari and Cammy. Chap and Flixie played and they finished in 22nd, and then Tayson and Ferdoxy finished in 40th place, and then that was really about it for all of our big names that made the finals. Some of the other big name duos that just missed out was like 46th place of Swizzy and Pixie. I still do like what I've seen out of this duo so far. If you guys are curious, once again, no, Swizzy and Venia have not officially split up yet. Swizzy just wanted to play with somebody else for this season, and he's been playing with Pixie since he is also probably the other biggest person looking for a duo. Seti and Rax finished in 69th. In 84th place, super unfortunate day for Yapko and MrSavage. They just barely missed out on qual, finishing with 249 points, won 1 of their 7 matches, 44 total elims. This wasn't even like a terrible tournament out of them either. 4 out of their 7 games, they finished inside of the top 10 and still averaged 6.2 elims a game. It's just what comes with playing these tournaments, especially in a Simpson season where only the top 40 are able to qualify for the finals. Sometimes you just miss out, and that's exactly what happened to them. My confidence hasn't gone down in them at all. I can say all of those same things for 85th place of Focus and Thomas HD. And then the 2 other big name duos that failed to qualify that I want to highlight is 297th place of Mongrel and Mixon. They finished on 168 points, didn't win any games, only got 14 total elims. This is yet another finals that this duo has failed to qualify for together. I know that they were able to earn in squads, and that was a super positive thing for them, but they have been kind of struggling as a duo. Still don't want to criticize them too much, and I'm really not going to be too hard on any of these duos until chapter 7 starts. A duo though that I have been pretty harsh on is 368th place of Chino and Vino. I just think their expectations have to be so much higher than what we have for somebody like Mongrel and Mixon. Chino and Vino have also barely been able to qualify for any finals as of late. Vino even went on to tweet out that he's looking for a duo for the rest of this season. I'm assuming that he's just trying to get a vibes reset because him and Chino have really been doing absolutely nothing for almost a month now. I do have to say that if Chino or Vino with their new teammates end up performing better than what Vino and Chino have been doing, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this led to an eventual split. But as of now, this seems like just a this season type of thing, and then they should be back full grinding for chapter 7. Let's actually move on to how the finals went now. Now in the finals, the duo that finished in first place, these guys just seem to know how to win games. It is the Polish goats of Darm and Demas. They were so close to being able to win multiple games, getting a 6 elim second in game number 2, and then concluding the tournament with a 5 elim win. These guys have now won a game in the duo eval cup today, won multiple games in the squad eval cup, won another game in the duo victory cup. I haven't like fact checked this or nothing, but this has to be probably the team that has earned the most money together this entire season, and they are looking so good going into chapter 7 in just a couple of weeks. Second place is Howley and Ilusha. They were able to win the first game of the day with a 5 elim win. Then they also got an 8 elim third in their second game. Third place, I was talking about them, and they are really back, man. Shark and Teeny showing that they haven't lost a step at all, even though they haven't necessarily been playing together all that much recently. They start off the tournament with a 6 elim second, then they got a 5 elim win in game number 2. Still, my confidence is at an all-time high in these guys going into next chapter, and this is another duo that I'm expecting big things out of in 2026. And then the last duo that was able to get a win in fourth place was Tyria's duo. I'm not really sure how to say either of those names, so I apologize, but they got a 10 elim win in game number 3. I don't really know anything about them. I looked at their Fortnite trackers and it doesn't necessarily seem like they're cheaters, so I'm gonna say it's a legit win. Shout out to these guys. Moving on to the rest of the leaderboard, the duos that were not able to get wins but came so close was like 5th place of Fastroki and Zhu. They didn't have a single game outside of the top 10. They got a 4 elim 4th, 4 elim 10th, 6 elim 2nd, and a 3 elim 7th. Unfortunately, just weren't able to get the job done. 6th place, another duo that was so close to being able to get a win but just couldn't get it, was Vico and Malibuca. Their first game was pretty rough, but then after that they got a 4 elim 5th, 3 elim 7th, and an 8 elim 2nd. This duo also continues to just look so good.
Vico loses. No, Vico has to go. 1 more second. No! No! No, man! Fuck! No, I missed my pump!
As of now, I don't want to speak too soon or nothing, but it does seem like the split up that both Vico and Malibuca did from their old duos to form together seems to be working out for both of them, so super happy for them. 7th place is Olise, 8th place is Dinas and Frantic, 9th place is Lixium, and then rounding out the top 10 is Cringe and Volko. For us, some of our other big names did, we had like Tayson and Ferdoxy in 11th place. They had to fight off spawn a lot of their games, so the only game that they had inside of the top 10 was their second game where they got a 6 elim 4th. I still don't think these guys are like 100% confirmed a duo, but I said last week that I do want these guys to play the rest of the tournaments out, and it seems like they are going to be doing that for this season. 15th place was Chap and Flixie. I feel like they have been pretty quiet this season, haven't really got to see too much from them at all. They didn't even get a single game inside of the top 20. And then Hari and Cammy finished in 31st place, got a 4 elim 3rd in their first game, but then after that, couldn't really get anything else going. This tournament today, especially on EU, also led to a bunch of crash outs, så I want to show how some of those went.
Ja, jag dog. Men alltså! Alltså vad gör de här? Alltså det är legit som att komma fucking AI, mannen!
Ragebait ist das alles. Ragebait ist das alles. Mom's life, by the way, Shadows, on my whole entire life, Shadows. Please someone clip this and send to Shadows. On my whole entire life, I'm capping every card of you. I'm doing everything I can so you will never call an event ever. I hate you on my whole entire life. Stop DMing me every second tournament when you need a duo mate. Last second, can we play? Can we play? Let's play an Essential, let's play an Essential. I'm never gonna play my whole entire life with you, okay? Please.
Moving on to the final statistics here now, the highest damage ratio was Twy with a 3.61. Most damage to players was Demis with 3,405. So he's been playing super consistent and still topping the damage leaderboards. And the most elims was Vico with 13, Howley in 2nd, Shark in 3rd, Fishy in 4th, Demis in 5th, Zhu in 6th, Byron in 7th, Fastroki in 8th, Darm in 9th, and the Material in 10th. The most assists is also a tie between Fastroki and Zhu. And then here's all the other statistics if you guys do care about any of these. Other than that though, remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Appreciate every single person that watches the videos. Please use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. Hope all you boys have been doing good. If you guys ever need anything, you guys can always let me know. YouTube says to enjoy one of these videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.